There's always an opportunity to do an overpriced anniversary issue, and we have Detective Comics number 1027, 1027, 144 pages. What will it cost? Let's assume $10. Yes, it's $10. Hey, coming out this September. But wait a minute, you might say. Number 1027 is, that's not 1,000 issues. What's that number? So let's explain and talk about the news. Hey everybody, this is Perch. I'm sure this issue will actually be quite fascinating. I'll go through the creative team here in a minute, and it's a good creative team. It's got a lot of different creators on it, so interested to see where that all goes. In a second, all of you will be treated to me butchering a ton of names all at once. But the question you might have is, Detective Comics 1027, how is that an anniversary issue? And didn't we just have a 1000 anniversary issue? Well, let it be said that we like our anniversary issues. We like being able to charge $10 for things, and they sell well. So, hey, somebody discovered that Batman actually debuted in Detective Comics number 27. Therefore, 1027 equals 1,000 issues. So let's do it again. So why not? But there are some new faces coming on to write DC, and this is giving us a little bit of a preview, I think, of the DC roster that we're going to see growing forward. So the creators, here we go, that are on this. We get a story by Greg Rucka and Eduardo Risso. We get Grant Morrison and his collaborator Chris Burnham coming on to do a story. We get Tom King teaming up with Walt Simonson, which is a very interesting team up, and that'll be very interesting to see. Tom King, who does more kind of, I won't say emotional, but more, let's say emotional stories. Walt Simonson, who does bigger than life. I'm curious how that pairing will work. James Tynion IV with Riley and Rossmo, and Dan Jurgens doing it all on his own. Marv Wolfman teaming up with Emanuela Lupacchino, sure, and Bill Sienkiewicz. We have a story by Brian Michael Bendis and David Marquez. That is a team. Marquez and Bendis are likely to be, there's a lot of speculation that after Bendis leaves Superman, that this is going to be the team that will probably take over one of the Batman books. But who knows? That's wild speculation on my part. Then we've got the She-Hulk, I'm Angry, Mariko Tamaki and Dan Mora doing a story. We have Scott Snyder teaming up with Ivan Reis. We have Kelly Sue DeConnick with John Romita Jr. and Klaus Janson, longtime collaborators, Romita Jr. and Janson, but teaming up with Kelly Sue DeConnick. And then finally, we have the Sex Criminals team of Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky. So a lot of interesting names on there. There will be a host of standard pinups with the usual suspects as well, and variants and all that kind of stuff. But a $9.99 price tag, September 15th, another anniversary issue. Like you said, didn't we just get one? Well, yes, we did, but why not? Let's put it out there. So so just taking a pause for a second. Clearly DC's doing this because they make money off this stuff. The anniversary issues have been a big seller for them. It's put, if you actually take the anniversary issues out, which is a bit of a false comparison because there would have been a normal size issue during that month. But if you take those out and that extra money out, both the sales and the dollars that come of it have been quite substantial over the last year. This has been a pretty major source of income for DC, probably one of their biggest. I'd love to, I need to go through and do the analysis. When I looked about 6 months ago, it was really racking up. And since then, we've got Catwoman, we've got Joker, we have Robin. So there's more and more of these coming out. They're a success. DC's come to the conclusion that their fans like anthologies when they can bring a bunch of creators together, do these little micro stories. It's good. Don't need to worry too much about continuity. And it's worked. In terms of some of the bigger names, I think seeing Grant Morrison, Chris Burnham come back on, that was the Batman Inc. team, I think, if memory serves me right. We're getting Scott Snyder with Ivan Reis as opposed to his long-term collaborator Greg Capullo, but of course we're getting Death Metal at the same time as well. So where you're getting plenty of that. The only kind of odd one here, but he was never that big of a, the names you would have liked to have seen on an anniversary issue is it would be nice to see a Frank Miller in here. And it would be probably nice to see a Jeff Johns, even though, he's not necessarily most known for Batman, still would have been a nice thing to see. And of course, undoubtedly there will be a Jim Lee cover that will come out of the mix, but we don't have a Jim Lee story in here and his moment on Hush. For that matter, Tim Sale, I think, would have been another good pick. I would have taken that over a jokey Matt Fraction, Chip Zdarsky book, even though a lot of people are going to make noise about Chip Zdarsky working for DC and is just signaling that he's going to start doing more there. I think it's too early to say that, but definitely it's something that will raise some eyebrows. Again, a lot of people are going to be looking at the Bendis story as, is this a preview of a Bendis on Batman that we're going to get? Interestingly enough, I think Bendis had a lot of success at Marvel with Daredevil and some of the street level heroes. So you might argue Batman would be a good pick for him. And in fact, I think Dan Didio said that he expected Bendis, when he was recruiting him, to go on to Batman and to want that book. And kind of the reason it went to Tom King was that Bendis passed on it. I'm abbreviating a little bit, but that was one of the reasons why we got Tom King on Batman was kind of because Bendis decided to go to Superman, which gave him a lot of control coming in. But David Marquez, I think I like him as an artist. I think he does a really great job. I think he, nothing against that. But if we want to return Bendis to his roots of Marvel Knights and Daredevil and some of that work, a grittier artist I think would fit better. Marquez is very much a Justice League. The Superman Batman book he's been doing has been very solid, and I think it's I don't know. It's weird casting to me. I've always felt that, but this is my personal opinion. Different people have different things. And I see Dan Jurgens have a book in here. Like I mentioned earlier, the Tom King Walt Simonson is a very unusual pairing, and I personally would have preferred Walt and Louise Simonson team up on this myself, but it is what it is. I'll be curious to see what Tom King returning to Batman with Walt Simonson of all people is. It's an interesting mix, and of course, Kelly Sue DeConnick and John Romita Jr. is an interesting pairing. These are going to be short little stories. They're not really going to there'll be one or two in here that probably will tease other things. I would expect that James Tynion, the fourth one too. And if the Bendis rumors are correct, maybe something out of him. But generally, these are going to be kind of little anthology stories, and so he'll be curious to how it'll be. I'm just kind of reeling still from the you got to hand it to DC. They figured out a way to pull a second kind of 2 years anniversary issue out of the mix for Detective Comics. So good on them, I guess. At some point that golden goose will be done, but definitely DC has the message right now that people will pay for a celebrity comic creator jam. 144 pages. That is a bigger than expected match. And if you do the math, I don't know. You have 14 different stories teams listed here. There's going to be some pinups. There's going to be some other fluff in 144 pages. But basically, you got 13 pages per creator there. That's not a short little story anymore. So, like I said, there'll be other things. I would imagine most of these things are going to come in around 8 to 10. I would guess. But anyway, we'll see what comes out. But there you go. So there's some news. Anniversary issue, another one. Detective Comics. Will you be into it? Will you buy it? Leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Comic Perch. And thanks for listening.